Okay, our first question is without using a calculator or mathematical tables, evaluate. So these questions normally they tend to be in decimals, mostly decimals or in fractions. And now I want you to note if the question is just stated in decimals, it is good that you give your answer also to decimals. Then if there is a mixture of operations, it is equally good that you give your answer, you start with the body mass, that is brackets of division, multiplication and others. So in this case we focus on evaluating the numerator first. So numerator, and our numerator we start from eliminating the decimals. So like 2.5, it is the same as 25 over 10 times 0.16, the same as 16 over 100. So we are multiplying, or we are putting it in fraction, a manner that we are doing away with the decimal. So 16 over 100, to simplify you get 2 over 5, because we are giving priority to off. Next is bringing in other operations. Here we have 3.2 divided by 2.5. So after what we have worked out, so 3.2 is the same as 32 over 10 times the reciprocal of 2 over 5, which is 5 over 2, so 8. Now our numerator has been simplified. We also simplified the denominator. Our denominator is still we focus on body mass. We start with multiplication, we start with division followed by multiplication and then addition. So we start with 2.6, which is the same as 26 over 10 times 10 over 13, because we are reciprocating, because of we are dividing. So 2.6 is 26 over 10 times 10 over 13, which gives us 2. Then we go to multiplication. 1.24 is 124 over 100 times 2. And then we have 248 over 100. Then we come to addition. We add. We get 152 over 100. And then it plus 248 over 100, 400 over 100, which is 10, which is 4. So numerator over denominator 8 over 4, which is equals to 2. So I want you to mark this one, that make sure that you, as you are doing your cancellation, your division, your multiplication, work with the numbers that don't have decimals when the equation is without using mathematical tables. Eliminate the decimals, then do your cancellation, then follow the body mass. Are we in agreement?
Yes.
Good. Question 2. Use tables of reciprocals, squares and square roots to find the value of. So in the process, you must show evidence that you are using reciprocals, show evidence of using squares, show evidence of using square roots. So let's start with where we have the square root. We have this denominator, 1.7955. Find the square root of this number. Immediately we get the number 1.3402. We get direct from the table because we can read. Now we have 1 over 1.3402. So after you have worked out for the square root, then read directly from the table of reciprocals. You read 1.3402, you get this number here, 0.7463. Then we have 2.02 squared. Go to the table direct and read 2.02 squared. You get 4.080. Then now you go to operation part. So we are multiplying the numerator 3.6 times this 1 over 1.34, because times the reciprocal of 1.3402. So plus 4.080. So you get your answer directly. Sometimes you'll be told to express your answer to some decimal places. Adhere to that. So we specifically use all that have been listed, all the tables, reciprocal, squares, square roots. Show some. Don't rush to a calculator. You feed in the figures and you get the answer. You know, to be on the right track of getting the answer. Are we in agreement?
Yes.
Question 3. A number y is such that when divided by 32, the remainder is 29. When divided by 40, the remainder is 37. And when divided by 24, the remainder is 21. Find the number y. I want you to observe the number and the remainders. Find the number y. I want you to observe the remainder and the number. When number is divided by 32, the remainder is 29. What is the difference between the two? 32 and 29, 3. We divided by 40, the remainder is 37. The difference between the two, 40 and 37, 3. When divided by 24, the remainder is 21. Difference between the two, 3. So find the number y. So this number will be our dividend. This number will be on the numerator, and the number y, so it means y divided by 32. So 32 is the divisor, 40 is the divisor, and 24 is the divisor. So find the LCM of the divisors, 32, 40, and 24, which is 480. Because if we add 3 to 29, we are going to get 32, which is divisible by 32. If we add 3 to 37, we get 40. 3 to 21, we get 24. So this number, it means it is 480, but it has a deficit of 3. So the LCM minus 3 will give us the number that will meet all the qualifications, 477. Did you see the trick? Sarah?
Yes.
Tuko sawa?
Good.
You have seen the trick and you have taken. I believe that you have your papers.
Yes.
Yes. Question 4. The product of the tangent and the cosine of angle alpha is 1/2. What is the value of alpha? This one is a straightforward question. Tan theta times cos theta is equal to sin theta. So the sin theta is a half, because we are told the tangent and the cosine is a half. But what do you know? Tan theta, it is the same as sin theta over cos theta. That is the the identity. So sine will cancel with the sine, cosine will cancel with the tan theta. It is sine over cos. Cos will cancel with the cos, so we remain with the sine alpha. Sine alpha is equals to a half, so sine inverse of a half is 30 degrees. We are using the identity that sine over cosine is equals to tan. So tangent will cancel out, cosine will cancel with the cosine of the denominator, will remain with the sine alpha. That one is an use of an identity. Question 14 has many approaches, but let us see. This one looks like it is because it is under linear equation. We form equations, then we solve. In 14 years' time, a mother will be twice as old as her son. 4 years ago, the sum of their ages was 30 years. Find how old the mother was 4 years before the son was born. Find how old the son was 4 years before the son was born. In 14 years' time. So we want to start with now. There's a way I find students approaching the same question using one unknown. These are questions under linear equations, and start from somewhere, because we are in 14 years' time. So let us always focus now. So now the age of the mother is X, age of the son is Y. In 4 years ago, it means from now we deduct 4 years. So X minus 4, the mother would be X minus 4, the son would be Y minus 4. That is 4 years ago. In 14 years' time, the mother would be X plus 14, and the son will be Y plus 14. Nothing much you have done, but you are recording the equation. You have come up with the analysis part of it. Now, then you will get back to the equation that will come in. 4 years ago, the sum of their ages was 30. So the sum of their ages 4 years ago was 30. So you will go to the column that is representing 4 years ago, X minus 4 and Y minus 4. So X minus 4 plus Y minus 4 is equals to 30, because that is 4 years ago, the sum of their ages was 30. So X plus Y is equals to 38. Then you go to another section. In 14 years' time, a mother would be twice as old as her son. So the age of the mother is 2 times the age of the son in 14 years' time. So you go to the column which is representing 14 years' time, X plus 14, and X plus 14 and Y plus 14, we form an equation is equals to 2y plus 14. Evaluate x minus 2y is equals to 14. So we have 2 equations. In these 2 equations, we solve them simultaneously using whichever method that you decide. And after solving the equation simultaneously, we get y is equals to 8 and yx is equals to 30. But that's not the equation. The equation is x is equals to that, y is equals to 30. This is their age now. The equation is find how old the mother was 4 years before the son was born. So the mother was what is the age of the mother 4 years before the son was born. So how many years are we subtracting here? 1, we subtract the age of the son, which is 8. So we get the age at which the mother was when the son was born. But the question is, before, 4 years before, so minus 4 again, so that we get 18. So the mother was 18 years, 4 years before the son was born. Are we in agreement?
No.
Aha. Exactly where?
X minus 2y is equals to 14.
Exactly where? Who has seen so that can explain? Yes, boss. Okay, come up. Somebody interrupted. Where? Are you here where we have the two equations?
Yes.
Okay, now solving the two equations simultaneously. Here we have decided to eliminate x, subtract x minus x 0, negative 2y minus y, negative 3y is equals to negative 24, divided by negative 3, y is equals to 8, and then substitute 8 in the one of the equations. X plus 8 is equals to that 8, x is equals to 30. Okay, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, now we have the values of x and the value of y. Then now the mother is 30 years now, and the son is 8 years now. Okay, now we want to find the age of the mother 4 years before the son was born. That's where the question is, how old was the mother was 4 years before the son was born. So we find up to where when the boy was born, when the son was born, the mother was 30 years minus 8 years. That is the age of the son. Now we are at where the son was born, after we have subtracted 8 years. Then we go ahead and subtract 4 years, because we want to find the age of the mother 4 years before the son was born. Then we subtract 4 years. We get 18 years. Now, are we in agreement?
Yes.
Good. You can revisit later, and I'm going to upload this video somewhere where you can access. All right?
Yes.
Question 6. So for m in the equation, below, this is the question on indices. If you see very well, it's a question on indices. And there is 2 power m plus 2 to power m plus 4. 4 power m plus 4 power m plus 2 is equals to 8. Every time you see a question that is behaving as indices, try to express it to the prime factors. For example, 4 can be 2 to power 2m. 4m, this 2 squared, 10 times m. This 4m plus 2, it is 2 to power m times 2 to power 4m. Then if you analyze well, there is some sign of similarity. 2m is common. 2m, 2m. 2 to power m, 2 to power 2m. Let's factor out what is common on the numerator. 2 to power m, we remain with 1. We have taken out 2 to power m, so we remain with 1. We have taken out 2 to power m, so we remain with 2 to power 4. Over, we have taken out 2 to power m, 2m, and what remains is 1 plus 2 to power 4. If we evaluate, 2 to power 4 is 16. 16 plus 1, 17. 2 to power 4 is 16. 16 plus 1, 17. So 17 will cancel with 17. So that we remain with 2 to power m over 2 to power 2m. Because we are dividing, we subtract their indices. So we are here, 2 to the power of m minus 2m is equals to 2 to power 3. Because we are equating numbers of the same base, 2, the base is 2, the base is 2, equate the indices. So we equate the indices, m minus 2m is equals to 3, minus m is equals to 3. So now our answer becomes m is equals to negative 3. Any question? Will you be able to follow through? Sarah?
Yes.
Tuko?
Yes.
We are okay, yeah? Question 7.
Yes. Yes.
Question 7. In an irregular polygon with any sides, 2 of the interior angles measure 120 each. 3 of the interior angles measure 140 each, while the remaining interior angles measure 156 each. Find the number of sides of the polygon. There are a number of facts that we should remember. 1. The formula for the sum of interior angles of polygon. We normally say it is 90 into brackets 2n minus 4. Or you can say it is 180 into bracket n minus 2. Now bring in the angles that we know. This is an irregular polygon. So 2 of the angles are 120. So 2 times 120. Plus, we want to find the sum of interior angles. 3 of the angles are 140 each. 3 times 140. Plus. Now, how many are they remaining? The remaining interior angles are 156 each. So remaining, the number of sides is equal to the number of interior angles. So the number of the total number of interior angles, if a polygon has 5 sides, the interior angles are also 5. If a polygon has 10 sides, the interior angles are also 10. So the remaining angles, because we have taken 5 angles, we have taken 2 angles plus 2 plus 3, which are 5. So we are remaining with n minus 5 angles, the 5 angles that we have factored in. And each of them will be 156. So 156 into brackets n minus 5 will be equals to 180 into bracket n minus 2. That is the sum of interior angles. Others can say 90 into bracket 2n minus 4. But that one is in a simplified kind of form. So we evaluate. This is 240 plus 420 plus 156n minus 780 is equals to 180n minus. For 156n minus 120 is equals to 180n. And then we evaluate, we get n is equals to 10. And n is the number of sides. So the number of sides of the polygon are 10. Christine, are we together?
Yes.
Very good. Let's go to question 8. A number m is formed by writing all prime factors, prime numbers between 0 and 10 in ascending order. So when you are working in such a question, underline ascending order. While number n is formed by writing all square numbers between 0 to 10 in descending order. Underline descending order. Find m minus n. This is a question in form 1, natural numbers, prime numbers, squares. So what are the prime numbers between 0 and 10? We have 2, 3, 5, 7. Some will include 1. 1 is not a prime number. A number n is given by squares between 0 and 10 in a descending order. So 9, 4, 1. 1 is a square. Some were writing 94. So we have 2357 as one number. Number n is 941. So we are finding m minus n. So 2357 minus 941, 1416. Question 9. Question 9 is a question on a question which is touching on quadratic equations and expressions. So specifically these are expressions. So under there we should be knowing something to do with the difference of two squares, the identities, and then how to factorize. Mostly focus on factorization and how to factorize a difference of two squares. Numerator 4x squared minus 16y squared. The two terms are each a difference of two. They are squares. 4 is a square, x squared is a square, 16 is a square, y squared is a square. So we factorize. We normally take the square root of the first term, 2x, plus the square root of the second term, 4y, into bracket, and then 2x minus 4y. The terms are the same, but we change the sign. And in this case, I see like 2 is common. 2 is 2 is common. So if we factor out 2, not 4, 2. We are going to take out 2, so we remain with x plus 2y. We take out 2, we remain with x plus 2y. Because this 2 which is here will combine with another 2 which is here, it gives us 4. So we have taken out 2 for the first bracket, take out 2 for the second bracket. So 2 and 2 will give us 4. So 4 into bracket x plus 2y, x minus 2y. So we have this expression for the numerator. Simplify denominator. Sum product. Our product is 6 times 8, negative 48. Our sum is the middle term, negative 8. And then two numbers you add, you get negative 8. You multiply, you get negative 48, negative 12, and 4. And then you factorize. After factorization, we get the expression 6x plus 4y, then x minus 2y. This 6x plus 4y, 2 is common. We can factor out 2. We can factor out 2 so to simplify it fully, so that we have 2 into bracket 3x plus 2y into bracket x minus 2y. So combine numerator and denominator. Combining numerator and denominator, there are some brackets that we cancel. We cancel brackets. This is as an entity. Brackets are considered as one term. When a bracket is introduced, that is one term. So this bracket x minus 2y will cancel with x minus 2y, and then we have we remain with 4 into bracket x plus 2y. But remember, this one has a common factor 2 that we can factor out. So 2 will cancel with 4, we remain with 2x plus 4y over 3x plus 2y. Will you be able to follow through? Kristen? Members, are you there?
Yes.
Good. Question 10. Question 10 is a question on vectors, and it says, given that vector PQ is equals to 3, 4, and P is negative 2, 1. Find the coordinates of Q. There's something we call position vectors. Position vectors are coordinates, but they are written in vectors form. So 3, 4, it is the vector PQ that is given by the position vector of Q minus position vector of P. That is where we are going minus where we are coming from. So the position vector of P, we know it. It is the coordinates negative 2, 1, written in column form, plus the coordinates, the position vector of Q, that we don't know, x, y. So combining the two, there is a negative here because it is PO. We are moving from P to O. That is against the direction. So we have negative, this negative. Negative times negative, positive. So we have 2. Negative times this one, negative 1. Plus x plus y. Then equated to this one. Equate the x components, the x, and also equate the y's. So equating the x, x plus 2 plus x is equals to 3, x is equals to 1. Equating the y's, minus 1 plus y, is equals to 4, so y is equals to 5. So x is equals to 5, y is equals to 5, and the coordinates of Q will be 1, 5. Any question? We are good to go?
No. Yes.
Yes. Question 11. A spherical solid lid of diameter 12 centimeters weighs 6.4 kilograms. How much would a similar solid of diameter 10 centimeters weigh? When we hear the word similar, this term is suggesting similarity and enlargement. This is a sphere comparing with another sphere. So there must be similarity because the shapes are the same. What will differ is the radius. So we want linear scale factor. So linear scale factor, it is because we have similar solid of diameter 10 centimeters. So because the diameter of the spherical solid lead of diameter 12, so if we compare the two diameters, the diameters we want to get linear scale factor. So the 12 over 10 will give us linear scale factor 6 over 5. When we compare masses, we get volume scale factor, because by definition mass is the quantity of matter in a substance. So mass, we are talking about volume, only that it is given now as a quantity of the matter. Now, when we compare masses, one mass with reference to another mass, we are finding volume scale factor. So let us find volume scale factor. Volume scale factor, it is always equals to linear scale factor cubed. So 6 over 5 cubed, 216 over 125. Then 6.4, which is the mass of one solid, over x, the mass that we don't know of the other solid, is equals to 216 over 125. It is equals to volume scale factor. So we work out for x, and x becomes 3.7037. And we know that area scale factor is equals to linear scale factor squared. So if we are asking about area, we should be using comparing areas and area scale factor. If we are asked about volume, we are comparing volume scale factor, or we are using the ratio of the masses or the ratio of the volumes. Are we together?
Yes.
Good. Question 12. A saleswoman is paid a commission of 2% on goods sold over 100,000 shillings. She is also paid a monthly salary of 10,000 shillings. In a certain month, she sold 400 bags at 450 each. Calculate the saleswoman's earnings that month. So one, we want to find there is a salary of 10,000, and there is 2% of what is sold above 100,000. It's quite a basic equation. So we want to find the commission. 2% over 400 times 450. This is the total sales minus 100. This one gives us 32 something. Okay. This one gives us 1,600. After finding the total sales minus 100,000, then multiply by 2 over 100. So we get 1,600. Now plus the salary for the month, which is 10,000. So this saleswoman is going to earn 11,600 shillings. That's quite a basic equation. Question 13. Question 13. quite common question, but we can practice on it. I will give you the approach. Form the inequalities which satisfy the unshaded region below. So we are supposed to note the following. One is to label the lines. So this line, we call it L1. There's another line here, we call it L2. Another line here, we call it L3. So that's the first step. Label the lines if they are not labeled. Number two, start working one line to another line. Let's start with L1. L1, if you observe, it is a broken line. If it is broken, we need the inequality which is less than or greater than. So line L1, it passes through 4. It cuts the y-axis at 4, and it cuts the x-axis at 3. These are the intercepts. 4 is the y-intercept, and y is the x-intercept. There is a way we write the equation in double intercept form. X over a plus y over b is equals to 1, where a is the x-intercept and y and b is the y-intercept. So x over 3, this 3 which is here, y over 4 is equals to 1. So multiply by the LCM 12, multiply by 12 all through, we get 4x plus 3y is equals to 12. Using one point, a point mostly if the line is not passing through the origin, use the origin. So substitute 0 here, 0 plus 0, 0 and 12. So which is the inequality there? 0 is less than 12. True. But if you check well, very well, you'll see that this 0, it is in the unwanted region, because our region is the one which is bordered by the 3 lines. So we need a statement which is false. We need a false statement. So to make this one a false statement, we are going to say 0 is greater than 12, because the point 0, 0, it lies on the unwanted region. So we say 0, 0 is greater than 12. So our inequality becomes 4x plus 3y is greater than 12, because 0, 0, it is in the unwanted region. Sawa. We go to L2. Our line L2 is horizontal. It's along the x-axis. It is a continuous line. So the x-axis, it has the equation y is equals to 0. Every time the x-axis, y is equals to 0. But now we want to find the inequality. So our inequality would be y. Choose one point. Let's say choose a point here, 3, 1, which is inside the wanted region. Substitute 3, 1. So y is 1. 1 and a 0. We want a true statement because we have taken a point which is inside the region. We want a true statement. 1 is greater than or equals to 0. True. So 1 is greater than or equals to 0 is a true statement. So our inequality will be y is greater than or equals to 0. We do the same with L3. L3, we find that the equation is cutting through 4 on the y-axis and 5 on the x-axis. So these are the intercepts. So write the equation in double intercept form. X over 5 plus y over 4 is equals to 1. LCM of 5 and 4, 20. Multiply by 20 all through. So using the point 0, 0, we can use any point even inside there. Most preferably use the point inside the wanted region. Substitute 1, 1. Substitute 3, 1. 3, 1 we want to get, substitute 3, 1. 4 times 3, 12. 12 plus 5, 17. 17 is less than or equals to 20. True. So we want a true statement because we have taken a point which is inside the wanted region. So our inequality becomes 4x plus 5y is less than or equals to 20. Are we together?
Yes.
Yes. We can go to question 14. A city clock gains 2 seconds every 15 minutes. It is set to read a correct time on Monday 0800 hours. Find the correct time when the clock shows Thursday 1100 hours, same week. Find the correct time, Thursday. So this is quite mechanical question. It has no formula or such. We start counting. We literally count. We have started 8 a.m. Monday. By Tuesday 8 a.m. 24 hours. By Wednesday 8 a.m. another 24 hours gone. By Thursday 8 a.m. 24 hours gone. So far we have 23 days, 24 hours, 24 hours, 24 hours. So times 3 we get 75 hours. Then plus the 3 hours, because we are moving from, we want Thursday 8 hours. So we get the total number of hours between Monday 8 and Thursday 11. So it will be 24 times 3 plus 72 plus 3, because of these 3 hours from 8 to 11, 3 hours, 25 hours. Time gained, because it is gaining 2 seconds in every 15 minutes. So in 15 minutes we gain 2 seconds. For 75 times 60 minutes we gain what? So 75 times 60 divided by 15 times 2, we get 600 seconds. In 600 seconds, it's like we have 10 minutes. So 600 seconds divided by 60, we get 10 minutes. So we have the total time, then we have the time gained continuously. After every 15 minutes, 2 seconds, what will be the time gained by the end of the 75 hours? 10 minutes. So correct time will be, because it gains time, what will be correct time? It was gaining, so it means the time will be ahead of the exact time. So we are supposed to subtract. If it was losing, we were to add. But now because it is gaining time, so it means the time that it is reading at the moment, it will be higher than the one that is expected. So the correct time would be 11 hours minus 10 minutes, which gives us 1050 hours. It's quite a question that is testing on your logic, on the way of seeing things. Are we together?
Yes.
Good. Twende kazi. Question 15. Two sides of a kite are 12 centimeters and 8 centimeters long, respectively. If the shorter diagonal is 10 centimeters long, calculate the area of a kite. We cannot work out for the area of a kite unless we partition the kite into two equilateral triangles. So in this case, we want to find the... Some can approach it in many ways, but let's just focus on maybe one. Let's see what we have here. Here the area has been found by the use of Hero's formula, because we have triangle ABD, which has sides 8, 8, 10, and the triangle BCD, which has sides 12, 12, 10. So we can use the Hero's formula. We find S, where S, area of triangle ABD, where S is 8 plus 8 plus 10 divided by 2, 26 by 2, 13. So applying Hero's formula, 13 into bracket 13 minus 10, 13 minus 8, 13 minus 8, we get 31.225. Then we still use Hero's formula. We can find the triangle BCD, where S would be a half of the perimeter. 12 plus 12, 24, 24 plus 10, 34, 34 divided by 2, 17, 17, 17 into bracket minus 10 into bracket minus 17 minus 12, 54 point. Area of a kite, it is the sum of the area of the two triangles, 85.769. Still, we can give it another approach, where we find now the length AC. Length AC would be 5 squared, 8 squared is 64, 64 minus 5 squared, 25, 64 minus 25, is it 49? Square root, we get the number here. Then 12 squared, 144, 144 minus 25, then we find square root. So we have the length AC. Then we say I have AB sine, I have base times height. So I have times AC times the height times 2, because they are equal, we still get the same answer. Question 16 will be our final question. I wanted us to do section 1 today. Express the following as a mixed fraction, 1.523. But 5 is recurring, 523 is recurring. When we have 523, a dot on 5 and dot on the last digit, it means the 3 digits are recurring. So we have R, which is our fraction, will be equals to 1.523, 523, 523. The best way to answer this question, you ask yourself one question: is the decimal point before the first recurring digit? So our first recurring digit is 5. Is the decimal point before 5? The answer is yes. If it is not at 5, so we are supposed to shift the decimal point until it is before the first recurring digits? If the answer is yes, good. Then how many recurring digits do we have? We have 3 recurring digits. So multiply by 1,000. Both sides by 1,000. If we get 2 recurring digits, we multiply by 100. So in this case, we have 3 recurring digits, 5, 2, and 3. So we have 1,000R is equals to 1,523.523523. Then subtract both sides, but we subtract reverse. We subtract upwards. So 1,000R divided minus R, 999. Here we have subtracted this way, but when we want a positive number, we subtract upwards. And then 1.523523 minus 1,523.523523 minus, we get 1522. Divided by negative 999 divided by negative 999, and then we have 1,523 over 999 as our answer. Good.